Welcome to our next video, and this is the fifth system. I had to think there for a second. And now we're talking about truth. And it's represented by the color aquamarine, which we don't really have that many foods of in our environment. This is my favorite system, I have to say, and it's probably my favorite color to wear as well. And for the truth system, we are talking about speaking one's truth, and that's kind of like being authentic, respectful, kind. I think it's important to speak with kindness, but to be real and not necessarily silence either, but we can speak our truth in a way that is maybe less hurtful to people, with respect, basically. So, of course, it's about verbal expression, though I also think that sometimes it's hard to maybe express things, and we can do it in other forms, through creative expressions, or we can through art, or other ways that we're getting out our emotions or experiences that we share with other people. It's about our senses. So mindfulness is a huge part of this, of course, because this is actually cultivating our sense of bringing our body and mind together. It's about communication, and it's about choice. And I also like choice because within mindfulness, when we're cultivating this, we create space for choice, because we go from this being reactive and immediate sort of response to creating a pause, where from that space between taking the information in and deciding how we can respond to it, we have that space to decide how we're going to do, what we're going to do about it, rather than just like reacting on autopilot. When we talk about the body systems that are connecting to the truth, of course, we're talking about the throat, the voice box, it's how my words come out of my mouth. We talk about the mouth itself, teeth, so chewing, of course, becomes important here. Hearing, our face, kind of ears, our neck, our nose, because this is also part of our sense. We talk about our thyroid, which is the master gland for metabolism, regulating our metabolism and functions throughout the body. And the tongue, which is of course also part of our sense system, which has several thousands of taste buds that is part of our experience when we're eating. When we talk about food that is related to the truth, so there's very few foods that are sort of aquamarine colors, but we're talking about marine, which is the sea. So seafoods, algae, spirulina, chlorella, dillis, carrageenan, all those kind of seafoods that we can enjoy, and that are also rich in the mineral iodine that we need for our thyroid to function. Here, like in the law system, we talked about vegetables in general. Here we talk about fruits in general that are kind of sweet and moist. Liquid foods that are sort of like loosening your throat, and liquid foods are also handy if you have a sore throat. Or also important here, because we're talking about choice, we're talking about variety. A variety of eating lots of different food means it's going to be easier to get most of what we need from our foods if we eat a huge variety of foods. And it's also been shown quite recently that a variety of foods is really important to support our gut health and the microbes and the microbiome that lives there. But when it comes to mindful eating and integrating this in the truth system, what I think about here is to take, really kind of the core fundamentals of mindfulness into our eating experience. And it is to use this awareness and how we pay attention in a particular intentional way, with openness and curiosity and non-judgmental. And it's kind of to have an embodied awareness. So we're talking about, this is to be open with our eating experience in this kind of non-judgmental way, and just experiencing it as it is. And how we can do this is really to start off with taking a short mindful pause and just sort of like center ourselves and stuff, and just kind of drop any kind of noisy things in our head and in our experience, and just kind of focus on the food in front of us, engaging our senses, taking in the sense of smell, the visuals, maybe there's other noises and hearing, and then just like how we're experiencing the food in our mouth and when we're swallowing, and just be present with that. And what we might find is we might find that we enjoy the food more or maybe less. And this is going to inform us for choices going forward, and also how, we might feel that less foods make us satisfied than we would normally think. So, this is kind of like what most people think about when they think about it, they hear about mindful eating, that it is like about this eating slower, chewing more, being present, and enjoying food and the pleasure. But of course, I have already talked about some of the other parts of mindful eating, that, how it sits in a broader context. But this is kind of the gist of it. So the question that I've taken for this aspect that I'd like you to work on for the next couple of days is just to explore if your eating is full of variety. So there are a lot of different things, different flavors, different textures. And perhaps this week you try something new, like a new food, a new dish, something, maybe you see a new food in a grocery store, or the supermarket, and you pick it up, and this is what I used to do, like even when I started eating more things like beetroot or kale, or it is more common now, I'll bring it home and then I'll Google it for a recipe and I'll see what I've come up with, and maybe use that and see what else I have to hand and kind of be creative. Invitation for you for next week to explore how much variety you have in your life and try something new.